So, the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, had an interesting interview last week with Game Informer where he talked about a variety of subjects, but the one that has kind of picked up steam and has made even more headlines is, are Xbox games coming to PlayStation and Switch? It's something that Xbox hasn't been able to shake recently, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everybody is having a great day, and if you don't mind, if you enjoy this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to have this interview linked in the description below. Some of you may have seen it already. I watched it last week. I wasn't going to make a video about it because I did a video about Phil Spencer and the single player stuff, but I thought this was important enough to revisit because you have IGN talking about it. You have Gaming Bolt talking about it once more. I have people DMing me, asking me, hey, are Xbox games going to be on PlayStation in the future? It's even something Xbox fans are concerned about because they bought the console for the games on the platform. And while he does give an answer, some games might be, and the keyword is might, and some games pretty much 100% won't be. But the interview is more than that. See, I like the interview because he talked about how he wants to work with Undead Labs to create State of Decay 3 and have it be a big AAA franchise. How he wants to, work with Obsidian to make the Outer Worlds 2 an enduring sci-fi franchise that hits the kind of AAA level. He had some really great comments about Halo Infinite, how it's going to have the biggest world and how huge in scope it is. So it's a great interview for you guys to go check out. There's some great tidbits about Xbox, games that they're working on, and he even says he doesn't really tell people what to do, but he's there to help them kind of bring their vision or bring their creation to life, and that's something I like to hear. But of course, everybody is fixated on this idea of Xbox games coming to PlayStation, and for good reason. When you invest in a console, sometimes you want those games to stay exclusive. Now, personally, I don't really care if Halo Infinite comes to PC. I don't even really care if Halo Infinite came to the PlayStation. It's not that important to me, but it may be important to other people. So what exactly is going on here? So Matt Booty said, in an answer to a question like, would you be open to the idea of your games from your studios appearing on different consoles? Because let's face it, there are some of them right now. Microsoft went on an acquiring spree this past couple years. They bought 11 studios. Some of them already have current commitments. The Outer Worlds, made by Obsidian, is hitting the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. That's published by 2K, even though they're currently owned by Xbox. You have something like We Happy Few, Compulsion Games. They made that game. It released on PlayStation. You have recently acquired Double Fine. Their game Rad and their game Psychonauts 2 are coming out on PlayStation. So those games, those franchises that had prior commitments, Microsoft is okay with, honoring those commitments to release those games on PlayStation. And he basically said if it makes sense for the franchise and if the developers wanted to, then they would be open to the idea of these Xbox developers putting their games on the rival platforms. And the key word if it makes sense for the franchise. And the example he gives is about Minecraft. We all know Minecraft is literally on everything. It's on PlayStation, it's on Switch, it's on mobile phones, it's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's literally on every device in the world, and it's one of the reasons why it's one of the biggest games in the world. And its offshoot, Minecraft Dungeons, a new kind of RPG from Mojang, is also going to be on every platform. And Matt Booty said, hey, for Minecraft, it just makes sense for that game to be everywhere. But it doesn't really make sense for other franchises. See, Matt pretty much came out and said, no, the big Xbox franchises like Sea of Thieves, Halo, Forza, Gears of War, they make sense only to be in the Xbox ecosystem, which is the console and which is the PC. Yes, I know Microsoft has also said they're going to release their games on Steam, but let's face it, Xbox really hasn't had an exclusive since 2015, Halo Guardians, when they started the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative, and all the Xbox console games, those exclusives, ended up on PC. Now they're also on PC through Microsoft's own store and through Steam. So I understand when people use the term exclusive, it's really not. It's really just exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. So that's it. So Matt's come out and definitively said, no, Halo's not going to be on PlayStation. Gears of War is not going to be on PlayStation. Sea of Thieves is not going to be on PlayStation. The big franchises. So you can probably work ahead and probably assume the Initiative, their next game, is not going to be on PlayStation. But that brings us to the smaller developers, the ones that are making more AA stuff, maybe on the cusp of AAA. Ninja Theory, Obsidian, In Exile. Those developers, what are they making? Could those games make their way to the PlayStation? Matt said they might if it makes sense for the franchise, because it's not really a binary decision. If they want to make it, they can. Now, does that mean they will, though? That's the other part of the thing. Even though Matt says that it's a possibility and they could, does it mean they will? And that's a question I'm not so sure of, like, the answer to. Personally, I don't really think they will. Outside of their current commitments, their contractual commitments to putting games on those platforms that are, written in contract, so to speak. So something like Obsidian's next game after Outer Worlds, I don't see that coming to PlayStation. Compulsion's game, whatever they're making next, I don't see that coming to PlayStation. Ninja Theory's game after Bleeding Edge. I mean, we already know Bleeding Edge isn't coming to PlayStation, so that is one of their games, already new games, new franchises, new IPs, that isn't going to be there. And of course, because Matt did say it depends. Are we leaning on Game Pass? Are we leaning on Xbox Live? If we have to use all those things, then the game won't be on PlayStation. So the problem here is that this will always be a concern. This will always be a talking point. Because, you go to IGN's Twitter feed and you see this tweet. Which Xbox games would you like to see on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch? Xbox on PlayStation? An Xbox boss has said that Microsoft-owned developers may still be able to create games for rival platforms in the future. And while this statement is true, because Matt didn't rule out all the games, he also didn't say that they will. But it puts out the perception that it's possible in the future, at some point in time, that these Xbox games, outside of the big franchises like, Matt mentioned, well, they could end up being on the PlayStation. See, this narrative is going to follow Microsoft around until they make a definitive statement. And what I mean by a definitive statement is this. All Matt had to say is that once our contractual obligations are met, all the games from Xbox Game Studios will be exclusive to the Xbox console and PC. That's it. That shuts down the narrative, that shuts down all these kind of clickbaity articles asking this questions. Xbox on PlayStation, from IGN, GameSpot, and where else? It's a firm answer. It's no. Outside of Minecraft, it's absolutely no. But the way Phil and Matt have kind of gone about answering this question, maybe, they might, if it makes sense for the franchise, it really depends. That's why you get this talk. That's why you get some people thinking that 100% Ninja Theory's next game is going to be on PlayStation, because they haven't ruled it out yet. Sure, they've ruled out Halo Infinite and Gears, but there's a lot of other games that Microsoft is making. All you really need to do is come out and say everything besides Minecraft is exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, and it's over. The narrative is dead, and it's nailed shut. Now, why do they keep on doing that? Maybe they want to keep their options open. Maybe they buy a franchise or a game that is multi-platform in nature and they want to keep it on PlayStation. I don't really know. But I do know that this was a pretty damn good interview. Not because of the whole Xbox on PlayStation thing, but because of the way Matt talks about the franchises that he is now the head of, since he's head of the studios. I like hearing about State of Decay 3 being a bigger franchise. I like hearing that Outer Worlds 2 is probably going to be a thing, so just buying this one isn't kind of a waste. That we will see future games in this universe, unlike stuff from Quantum Break or Rise 2. I like hearing that he's not telling them what to make, that he's just helping them build what they want. And I guess that's where it comes down to, right? Developer freedom. Make what you want, we'll help you build it. And if you want to put your game on PlayStation, then we'll be fine with that. But this whole thing is going to plague Microsoft and Xbox for years until they come out and give a firm answer. No, this is not going to happen. But anyways, that's kind of my whole thoughts on this situation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, share this out on social media like Twitter or Facebook or wherever you share things. Tell a friend about the channel, you'd appreciate it. Hit that sub button if you're new, and hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified immediately when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching, I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.